Hey, everybody. Howdy, howdy. Uh, I got one good leg right now. Um, and I got audio. Got audio. Sweet. Um, well, here we are coming into the 4th of July holiday weekend. Hmm. What a what an interesting story that is going to turn out to be. I'm gonna let others tell it. Um, I hope I brought y'all some good stuff for your liberty, for your freedom, for your health, your mental health, your physical health, your oral health, your overall health, your spiritual health. Um, this is a little unusual for me. Um, I, I scheduled this video early this morning. Um, and or early today. It wasn't really early this morning. It was early today. And I typically don't do that because I never know how I'm gonna be feeling, and and a lot of times I'm ready to get up and make a video, and I put it off and I put it off and I put it off until boom, it's like, all right, it's go time. Let's get her done. And so I'm I I have exhausted myself today thinking about this talk tonight, and what the hell can I tell you that I haven't said? I don't know. I could reinforce some issues. I think the main thing is that you want your freedom. You have to realize that it's these British agents that have stolen it, and it's law enforcement that's protecting them. And the American Medical Association and American Dental Association are the two leading causes of death in America. Uh, they're private member associations. The American Bar Association is a private member association. These private membership associations operate outside of government. Your post office is pushing mail fraud like there's no tomorrow. What are you going to do about it? Um, Ehrlich, I think that is. I don't know where my eyes are. I put them over here. Um, yeah, Ehrlich, welcome. Um, I just don't know what else I can bring forward. If you folks just knew who the heck you were, who you are, you wouldn't be tuning in to listen to me. And I don't want to be making videos just to be rattling bullshit. Um, Sometimes maybe the ones that seem that way, well, they're intended to fire you up. Um, so I don't know where y'all go from here. You've got again, if you knew who you were, none of the paperwork would be necessary. Um, if you want to contract with the venue of the global contracting, facilitate prepaid, postage paid, first class registered mail. If you want to contract directly with the global chief, or I'm not sure if staff is the right word, do the claim of the life. If you want something equivalent, facilitate that franken, postage paid, and then mail that to yourself in a registered mailer. You do the same thing with the Americans Notice of Liability. You could do the same thing with the $21 money order, gold backed. Put your stamp, autograph, and seal. Cancel that stamp. Use gold. Own your authority. Don't fall on the sword, but you got to take these parasites out. And Executive Order 13818. Executive Order 13818 with regards to human trafficking. So the T-Man said, executing drug traffickers. I imagine to be executing human traffickers. Seems to be a little bit more serious of a crime. Drug trafficker, where's the victim? Where's the victim? And they're going to get executed? Well, and what's a drug? Marijuana, something that's essential for health for man and mammal? Or is it some scourge drug that's making people on the street drop like flies? Or is it stuff that's coming from the through the AMA and big pharma? I would consider them drug traffickers. I would. I do consider them drug traffickers. Well, Ehrlich, we got somebody else here. Got two people. Anybody got a question for me? If you do, it's a good time to put it in. I put some comments in the live chat here. The very first one I put in was with regards to that awesome YouTube video, that long-standing, 10-year long-standing YouTube video by Cop Block titled, "When Should You Shoot a Cop?" And that was my first comment with a question mark. And then I put, are they cops human trafficking? Well, when I went back and reviewed them, I could see YouTube deleted my comment, "When should you shoot a cop?" So I guess it's okay for Cop Block to have that video up for 10 years with that title, but YouTube's like the soup Nazi. No, when should you shoot a cop for you? It's like this shit. Bear with me. I don't think it'd be too hard to find. Maybe. Here we go. Congressional fuckery. But postage paid. Postage paid. This came with a 2-cent stamp. Put into my mailbox. But at the Kalkaska corrupt post office, I go in there just to pick up supplies, and I get questioned, I get threatened, and I get told that we are not going to be facilitating prepaid mail. Oh, so I just came in here to get supplies. And what do? They put this shit in my mailbox, along with all that other mail fraud and the human trafficking, right? We got Judge Lynn M. Boudet, blue ink pen, capital E, lowercase THAN, administering me, attempting to administer me. And well, old poopy pants Popow over here, there's no corruption in the village of Kalkaska in his eyes. Well, when I finally stepped back and put myself in his position and come to the realization that it's his village, it's extremely corrupt, and he's got an iron grip on that corruption. There is nothing that is going to corrupt the corruption in the village of Kalkaska if Chief Poopy Pants Popaw's got anything to say about it. So dog's alerting. I think the air cleaned up finally after a week. Nasty. Well, I got 3 people here. Holy cow. And I got a comment or two. My eyes are tired. So, oh, Keith, 9 likes today. Election of Mr. Medical. Wow, too many difficult words for me to pronounce in there. The live chat is on replay. I'm gonna try and get through this. Election of Mr. and it's all capital METOKI, and then MASAHIKO as Director General of the International Bureau of the Universal Postal Union. Statement by Foreign Minister MOTEGI TOSHIMITSU. Well, I wonder if the Universal Postal Union has been revived out of its bankruptcy and disqualification. If having problems with Postmaster or United States Postal Service, then that is who I would contact. Well, we're all having trouble. We're all having trouble because the banks use the all caps name. Now, I don't want to tell her to stop. And I think she might. Gotta be alert. And if the motherfuckers are willing to die to come and trespass on me, well then they're willing to die to come and fucking trespass on me. That's all I got to say. We are all having trouble. Every post is putting out mail fraud. Every post is aiding in human trafficking. Any mail going through the post from a circuit court, a district court, or a federal court is aiding in human trafficking. Executive Order 13818. Executive Order 13818. Now, I've been doing my best to assassinate my strawman. And I've watched and watched and watched and watched and watched. And the majority of what everybody's doing, it's monkey see, monkey do, in one form, fashion, or another, from one fucking guru or another, got you being a slave, got you putting the shit into their system. Now, when I got red pilled, one of the first things I did was fucking petition the DEA. What a fucking dumbass. Well, I was trying to change the world. I prove cannabis essential for health for man and mammal, along with many other benefits of cannabis. I prove things that science had given up on as impossible. So, oh my goodness, I could start going down so many damn rabbit holes here. All right. And it's like this. It's like my example of any of those things, any sheriff, undersheriff, county commissioner, governor, senator, congressman, judge, hospital, doctor, whatever. It's just like sending a complaint to the kamikaze pilot in the zero. You're given your location for one, and he don't give a fuck. He just don't give a fuck. So you're absolutely wasting your time, in my opinion. And so I can find nothing to discredit Russell -J : Gould. And The interesting thing is that a couple of guys that got um, algorithms working for them, SG and Captain Kyle. Um, an hour and a half into a talk, started the question and answer session where the question was posed: did Russell capture the flag? Without hesitation, both of them said yes, and then were silent. And then it was on to the next question. Why? You understand what your flag means? Do you want China to own your flag? So, David, well, okay, full colon, David hyphen Win, full colon Miller. And from here, I'm just going to say Dave and Russ or something similar. David, Dave, Russ, Russell. Uh, Dave and Russ did a lot of lawsuits. Quantum. I can find nothing, nothing to discredit and everything to support. And you got to connect the dots. You have, so in order to do that, you have to be able to see through the devolution, all the confusion, all the fear mongering, all the bullshit, all the lies, all the deception, all the misinformation. And if you're able to do that, then you got to start putting the pieces together and come up with a scenario that makes sense. All right. You got to pay attention to your flag. Pay attention. Go back and review footage over the last 2 years. Look at all the wrinkled flags over coffins. Look at all the wrinkled flags with the gold fringe. Notice the flags with no gold fringe. And here's something that just really, I mean, really kicked. I really just like, when you ever had one of them vehicles with, like an automatic transmission or even a stick shift, and you catch another gear and you just know it. It's like, oomph. I mean, it's just like, oomph. Well, that's what happened to me today. With regards to the flag and the T-Man. So there has been imagery of the T-Man in a position something like this, hugging what looks to me like the Title IV flag with no gold fringe. And his message is MAGA. Well, it's so prevalent and so pronounced when my eyes have seen that image. And early on, actually, I almost, well, I did. I had thoughts to the line that that's a little childish, or that's a little, I don't know, not and not childish in a bad way, because uh, children are uninhibited, and so it was, to me, it was his love for America, the United States of America, the American people, the American way of life, freedom and liberty. Well, all of a sudden it was, man, no, Ethan, they do, he talks to us with comms. Russell captured the flag. We're under martial law. We're in a COG, continuity of government. The T-man was selected. He acted as a acting president, but he did it in a continuity of government under martial law. I think you're going to find the first arrest that shocks the world was the T-man. And maybe it happened back in something like 2014. And when you think about all of all the people that could have been selected for, targeted for a plea deal that would encompass taking on certain duties, without the flag, you get nothing. So it would appear that we are in reconstitution. Your rights are unalienable, unalienable. They were once constitutionally protected. So many of your rights, which many of you have no clue what they are, can be found in your state's constitutions. And on the services page of oralhealthwithcannabis.com, in the documents section, 48 love letters is 48 state constitutions that I put together in a Word document. Read them. You have some gurus that will tell you, read your state constitution. I dropped a cigarette. And I say, yes, good advice, but read them all. Because I only find 3 state constitutions that talk about your right to prosecute your own cause in any court. It's common law across the common land. Have any of you been able to prosecute any of your cases in any court? The only place I've been able to prosecute my cases is when I open court. And I win every time. Now, when I was involved with the PBI and the environmental court, I'm getting emails and information and teaching on becoming a private attorney general. Oh my goodness. You want to get into a bunch of babble and bullshit and try and swim in that stream? No. Truth, law, court of record. You prosecute your own cause as a federal prosecutor. The highest court. Look, people, the people create government. What's the highest level of government? Federal government? Why would you take a position any lower in court then it's federal. Can you explain that to me? Well, I'm just a slave. Well, stop being a slave, because that's only in your head. That's only because you've been brainwashed. All this studying and I mean, getting into all this, anything prior to martial law, anything prior to martial law, when it comes to statutes, acts, rules, regulations, codes, it's all babble. It was all fraud. It was all to entrap and enslave you. It has no standing, no jurisdiction, unless you give it. And if you keep talking about it, and you keep talking about it, and you you know you do shit like, are you bonded? Did you take an oath? Did I vote for you? Um, the reality is you never voted for anybody, because you're just proxied. Everything's a trap. Um, so I'm watching these postmasters sending out these amicuses. I'm watching them capture their mailbox, maybe establish back to a rural route. Um, None of this is stopping the fraud, the constructive fraud, the mail fraud, the human trafficking that is all going through virtually every post in America. And Russell is global postal chief, and these postal employees are not, they don't know their job. For a man not to know his everyday job is a deceit. So the return address side of the mailer, and that's the only window, and you got the return and the to there, that's coming from a lot of different places. If that's truly mail fraud, and it would appear to me that it is, why not stand at the post office, even stand out on the sidewalk with signs, get your cameras out, go in and talk to those postal employees and say, what's going on here? Don't you know your job? Oh, gee, now the bank's got to redo theirs. The credit union's got to redo theirs. The electric company, on and on and on. They got to go redo their whole system, right? Oh, but then what are they going to do? They're going to use that all caps name? Well, you know, that's human trafficking. And according to Russ, he ended the birth certificate system, and all courts are ordered closed. Now, what? Where can you find a anything to validate that? Well, there's another guy. There's another guy who's doing a lot of talking, bringing some very powerful information forward, and that's Derek. And Derek talks about the beautiful operation and how it was designed to trap all judges, secretary of states, governors. I'm not sure. You might even say attorney in one or two of the talks. That went against your liberty. And he says they all know it all the way down to the county level. Keith, Keith, are you still here? Oh goodness, I've got the cord. I'm coming, trying to pick all this stuff up, and that cord was sandwiched in the middle of it. I got mail fraud out the wazoo here. From the county, federal Frankens, like from the DEA, federal Franken. This whole stack, the windows over on the left, all caps name, from a utility supplier. All caps name from a credit union. On and on and on it goes. So, and then I have the evidence of Judge Lynn M. Boudet trying to administer the living man, operating outside her jurisdiction. All this pushed through the post. So I would like some help in knowledge on stamps. Everything that the people need to know for their power and their authority. I think there was a time when people might even have bought an automobile with a stamp or stamps, things like that. And then creating our stamps. And what about everybody's interested in the money? Anytime you talk about money, everybody's just jumping on board. And your QVC account or whatever the hell that thing is, it's a fraud. You want to go jump in the fraud, play in the fraud? Look, the T-Man has said, when the diamonds are stolen, they got to be given back. Well, these parasites, these pirates, they have been stealing from the American people, not just the American people, but I'm an American talking to Americans. And this is for the world to listen to, of course. They have been plundering us like pirates. The war has never ended. And they have completely dumbed us down. They've taken over the education system. They have infiltrated virtually every institution, every aspect. And look at where we are. Men want to sing with a high-pitched voice, sound like a woman. Skinny jeans, soy boys, scaredy cats, afraid of their own shadow. Can't organize for anything, not for anything. Right to travel. People want to talk about, oh, got a constitutional carry state. Oh, we got 20, whatever, 23, 24, 25, 27 constitutional carry states. What are you, stupid? Don't you know about your Second Amendment? And I'm not talking about in the federal Constitution, the federal corporate Constitution. So I don't know about anybody out there that's talking to you about the selection, and they're not part of devolution. They're just steering you down the path of treason and stupidity. So, the thing for you folks to realize is these parasites that are feeding off you, they're doing it for a paycheck. And they've been dumbed down too. That's why they're such useful idiots. And then they've always got that they've always got that milk and honey. They always get that good money. They always get that good deal. They're always backing each other up, protecting each other. Well, look how many men Josh Eddy backed down. Look how many tyrants he backed down. Look at what I've done. We start coming at these pairs, they will fold. I can't understand how come I can't get 40 men. You veterans, you're taking your lives at an astonishing rate. There's a better use for those bullets. Your flag has been captured. There's a gold fringe around it in every circuit court, every district court, and every federal court, unless something has changed. Why can't I get 40 men here? All those veterans, they took an oath, didn't they? In federal court near 2 years ago, I took the position executive emergency manager for Michigan State after Gretchen pled guilty to treason in open federal court, open court of record, court of law. I have not resigned. I have not resigned from that position. I have not stepped down. I'm a federal witness. I'm a federal prosecutor. Why aren't you? Why aren't you dragging these parasites into your court? It's easy. It's too easy. You see, in their system, most of y'all get a notice to appear. And then what do? Like a good slave, you appear. Well, that's because you're afraid that if you don't, the clowns in costumes with all their armament are going to come and put you in torture cuffs and kidnap you. Well, that's why in the description of this video, you click on a link and watch a video titled, When Should You Shoot a Cop? It would appear that over 50% of middle to lower law enforcement want to be whistleblowers, but they're fucking pussies. So they keep on pirating to sustain themselves. Well, let them know that they could be hanging soon for that. unless they are wanting to repent. Come to their senses, come to the realization of what they're doing to their fellow man for a paycheck, for a fucking paycheck. So, it's interesting. I got a note here that was for me for the second Assassinate the Strawman talk. And here we are on, I think this is number 5. And I have not addressed this note that I made for myself. So this is probably a good time to do that. I did talk about this at least once, maybe twice. And I find this important, especially with regards to everything we want to know about the stamps and postage paid and the history behind all of it. So I enjoy watching the old shows, the old westerns. And there was one, and the episode was centered around a piece of mail, and the sheriff wanted information about this piece of mail, and the postmaster is very reluctant to give him any because that's private information. And the sheriff is being real, he's being understanding, but yet he's got a job to do, and this information, if he can get it, he feels could be critical to his task for his job for keeping the peace and accountability and such. And at one point, the postmaster says, "But Sheriff, she put a stamp on it." Well, doesn't everybody put a stamp on their mail? Apparently not. Apparently not. And then there's also the firm book. I guess things have just been too fast, and I haven't had the opportunity or the motivation to drill down on the firm book, but that is something that I think is something that would be a good learning and teaching for accountable mail. And I think that the postmaster verifies what's in the mailer or takes your word as bond for what's in the mailer and makes a record of it. I'm not sure how that works, but that firm book, to me, I believe is a powerful tool in owning our authority. Knowledge about the stamp, creating stamps, and that franking. What came first, the social security number or the franking? If the franking came first, how was it facilitated? How was the identifier created when there was no social security and an associated number to the social security? That's what I want to know. I want to know why you people don't get up off your ass and deal with the man, male or female, putting the human trafficking into your box. Understand that these courts are using the post you go in there and educate them that that is human trafficking and that the post is aiding in human trafficking, is facilitating processes involved in human trafficking. I'm telling you, I think that's, and for the postmasters, Russ, you got 8,000 postmasters. Well, it's a controlled operation. It's it's everything's going just fine. Uh, you don't need that kind of power coming from the people right now. Is that it? Huh? Well, hey baby, this is 5D chess, and the fucking Kalkaska kid, he don't quit. He don't quit. So I don't know. Maybe y'all just happy eating your popcorn, watching the movie. I know a lot of you aren't. I know a lot of you aren't. That energy is there. Anna von Ritz. I'll let it go at that. Chris Hauser. David Lester Straight. Give me a break. Bonds for the win. Truckers. The list goes on. The energy is there. All the assemblies that are formed all across this great nation of nations. The energy is there. It's just the people been following the wrong people. They've been following people that they're taking them straight into treason, straight down the rabbit hole to hell. You got to shut down these courts and open up lawful court. And you can open up lawful court right now. You got a piece of paper, you got a blue pen, you can open court. And the minute that the post takes receipt, they have been served. There is no notice to appear. Oh no, they've been served. The post has a duty to deliver it, to serve it. So there's some history behind this as to why it's part of the learning curve, but it's enough to know it so that it's there, but it's not memorized. And unfortunately, I don't know where to go to find that information. I suppose if it was that important, I'd find it, but right now it's not that important. So if it is to you, well, then you do the research. I would think the most important thing to you would be your liberty. So back to the flag. Do you understand your flag? Do you understand what Russ did? Are you paying attention to the flags? Are you seeing the wrinkled flags? You're seeing the non-wrinkled flags with the no gold fringe. I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna show you another com. It's not very far in the feed here. I'm almost there. I know it. Yep, there we go. Now that's obviously created. That's obviously artwork. See, people, Your liberty. Your liberty is yours. Your power is yours. What power? All power. Is your duty to protect yourself. Is your duty to protect others. Oh, and for you men, it's our duty to protect the women and the children and our younger brothers and our older brothers. Our brothers, period. So I don't know what else to do to empower you people. I do like what I did out there at the road today. I tried to video that live on YouTube, but there's no service there. If it wasn't for the Wi-Fi assist, there'd be no service here either. So that's just the way it is. Anybody got any questions? Any comments? Any critique? I'm good with critique. I got nothing else here in my notes. If you knew who you were, you wouldn't be watching this video. You wouldn't need no paperwork. You'd simply own your authority and you'd hold these parasites to account, and life would be really good. So I'm wishing everybody an awesome holiday weekend. Lots of fun, good food, and some critical thinking about how you're going to deal with your post and the United States post in your area. All right. I love you. I love you, love you, love you. Otherwise, I wouldn't be doing this. Own your authority, people.